Hey, how's it going everyone, and welcome back. I'm Martin. So yet again, Bungie are being a little bit cryptic as they usually are with one of the trailers that was shown at the reveal event, and the community have picked up on this. It seems that Bungie have already given us a cheeky hint at when the Destiny 2 beta will be released. So in one of the trailers where Luke Smith is explaining the kinetic, energy and power weapons, if we pause it here, we can see in the top right of this player's menu, they have their glimmer, and this other form of currency, which I'll talk a bit more about shortly. We can see the numbers 17,177 and 98, and people are speculating that these numbers could actually represent dates. 98 could mean the 8th day of the 9th month, which would be the 8th of September, which, as we know, is when Destiny 2 is being released. 17,177, when you break that down, it becomes 17177, which could be translated as 17 being the year, 17 being the day, and 7 being the month. That would become the 17th of July 2017, which is really interesting because the Destiny 1 beta was also on July 17th of 2014. So I'm gonna say that this isn't just some huge coincidence. Bungie are known for their cheeky, cryptic ways, and not one detail goes ignored. So it would be pretty safe to guess that the Destiny 2 beta will be on the 17th of July. Plus, it would make sense for Bungie to have the Destiny 2 beta during July, seeing as it's right in the middle of what would be a somewhat dry period, seeing as E3 takes place in June, and then there's Gamescom in August, and then of course the full game in September. So there couldn't really be a better timing for the beta during the downtime between major gaming events, so all focus can be on the beta when everyone is at home. I imagine Bungie are going to announce the beta at E3 and hype it up from there. Now, going back to this new currency seen next to the glimmer, this purple crystal stuff, I believe this may have been a placeholder during an older build of the game, because at the reveal event when I got to play, this had been replaced by a new icon called Strange Dust, and the description reads, remnants of powerful items, used to improve or trade for other items. And just to be clear, this Strange Dust was the same across all three characters that we played at the event. Some people I've seen were suggesting, what if it's a different currency for each class? Nope, it's the same on all three classes, just to clear that up. So, what is Strange Dust? Well, as I just said, it's used to improve or trade for other items. The keyword being trade. People have been suggesting that this could mean some form of trading could be coming to Destiny, but I don't think that's the case. I think it just means trade, as in the same way you would trade legendary marks for armor and weapons. It could just be another way of saying that this Strange Dust will be used to purchase items from vendors. Moving on here, we also have a couple of other small details here that I thought I'd mention from an interview with the project lead for Destiny 2, Mark Noseworthy. One of the few things that stood out to me from this interview, firstly, was the mention of heroic public events. These are essentially going to be like mini challenge modes for public events. If you complete one in a certain way or use a specific weapon or something like that, you'll be rewarded with better loot. It'll be like a secret bonus objective for public events, which is going to be a great thing for more experienced players later on in the game, because these challenge modes will add another layer of difficulty and also hopefully rewards that'll be worthwhile. Because early on in Destiny 1, public events after a while just kind of became pointless and the loot wasn't worth it. So hopefully the loot that we get from public events in Destiny 2 will be considerably better. During the interview, Mark Noseworthy also talked a little bit about the storytelling and the worlds we'll be exploring. The main story, obviously, is about Gaul and the Red Legion. This will be called the Red War Campaign, but there's also going to be other side stories and side adventures along the way that tie in with the Red War, and an example of this are the NPCs we're going to meet out in the wild. There's going to be one NPC per planet from what it sounds. One of them we've already seen in the trailer. We'll meet them in a church in the European Dead Zone, and these characters will not only give us loot, the quests they send us on will tell us about who they are and provide story on the world around us. For example, the giant shard of the Traveller seen in the European Dead Zone is corrupted and has corrupted the land around it. There's also the fact that Bungie have now gotten rid of Grimoire cards for Destiny 2, which I think goes to say that the story in Destiny 2 is going to be a lot more comprehensible, and the lore should be more accessible now to players with the stories that they're going to be telling. At least, I hope it is. I really hope it is. If Bungie are this confident in removing Grimoire cards, then maybe it will be. We'll have to see. Anyway, that is all I have for this video. I do hope that you enjoyed it and found it informative. A like would be greatly appreciated. Also be sure to check out my previous video for more Destiny 2 information. This last one was a pretty juicy video talking about the Cabal attempting to destroy our sun. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time.